we take two or three three classes. Every day is like 2 hours per class. So if we take three classes, we have 6 hours of classes in one day.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
So it's
and
like fastly and you have your test like,
quickly
yes.
in a short time. Yeah, and I have to do uh,
Oh,
the
wait.
last assignments could be
Yeah,
las últimas materias.
yeah.
It's more
Wow.
difficult.
Wow, the last subjects.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's that's because of the time, right? So it's kind
yeah,
of
the time and the level of the difficulty.
mm, yes, yes. Okay, okay, don't worry, Lucas. So yeah, I talk about it. So that you have, for example, a lot of like homework from the university. That's why you were like missing classes with permissions. So they told me that of course you're gonna have time in order to finish your assignments or the tasks, but like don't lose the classes because the time is gonna
Okay,
be long for you. But yeah, we're gonna have the opportunity to have the classes. And if you can do, for example, the test at the end of, and you can present all the tests at the end of the model, okay, it's okay.
okay,
But yes, don't, it's not gonna be for you, for example, to be long time, right, with classes. So it's gonna be like a waste of time, like maybe. So, so it's not gonna be a problem, okay, to present all the tests at the end of the model, okay? Of course, just for this month. So after that, I think that you will have a little bit more of time, right?
yeah,
So, because you're gonna be in vacation, so you're not gonna be a problem. But of course, if you have like emergencies like that, it's not a problem, okay?
okay.
Okay, Lucas. So I don't know if you are in the platform right now. Yeah, because Unit 4 is available. I don't know if you can see it.
But yes, I can see.
Yes, right? Okay, so I will share my screen with you in order to start the first unit, okay? Well, the first grammar. So for starting, we have this grammar that it's called present perfect continuous. I don't know if you remember the present perfect. Do you remember, Lucas?
The present perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, in present perfect, we said that we have an auxiliary, right? That it was have or it was has, right? For depends on the subject. So after have and has, we said that in present perfect, we use this auxiliary plus the verb in past participle, right? But in this case, okay, as we are talking about present perfect continuous, so as the word, as the name says continuous, so we have to use the verb to be. So in present perfect, we always are going to use been, the third way, the third column of verb to be. And after we will use verb with ing. So with this present perfect continuous, it's not necessary to use the verb in past participle. Why? Because verb to be is in past participle. Okay? So we start with subject. We have our auxiliary. We have the being as a participle and the verb always in ing because of continuous. Okay, so we can see or we can say I have been, for example, I don't know, reading a book since I have been reading a book, for example, just this, okay? In this case, I'm using the subject, I. I'm using my auxiliary because I have I, so I use have. Been, it's gonna be always in that way. And reading, my verb with ing. And finally, my count, right? So this is my sentence in present perfect continuous, okay? So, for example, in these sentences, in order to express or to use the time, I could use, okay, for expressing time here, for or since. Okay, so both are gonna be great. But we have to realize that for expresses a time, not in a specific time, but kinda near time. For example, I have been reading a book for 2 days. Okay, or maybe I could say I have been reading a book for or since I don't know, since Saturday, for example. Okay, so about this grammar, do we have negative sentences? Yes. The only thing that we have to use is not after the auxiliary. So maybe we could use in the full form like have or has not, or haven't or hasn't. That is the contracted form, okay? So that is the only difference in this. So for example, could you tell me maybe an example with this? Some example about you?
I have been
In negative, I
have
haven't
been
been.
I don't know.
Some action in a progress time, for example.
Listen.
Yeah,
Science Monday.
Okay, very good. Since Monday. Okay, perfect. Very good. So about this grammar, do we have questions? Yes, but we have to note that it's gonna be at the beginning, the auxiliary, and after the auxiliary, the same as the other grammars, we're gonna have the subject. And finally, we don't forget the question mark. So maybe I could ask you, have you been, I don't know, have you been studying? Have you been studying this? No, yeah, okay, since this weekend, maybe? So, how could you answer this?
Have you been? Yeah.
Maybe with yes, yes,
I have been.
I have. Okay, yes, I have. Or maybe no, I haven't. Okay, so that is the only way to answer in the short answers. Okay, only with the first auxiliary. Okay, so in affirmatives, we have to remember that we have the contractions just in case. The contraction is going to be the subject and maybe V, right? Or depends on the subject, the other contraction, like only S, like verb to be. Okay, he, she, it with S, I, you, we, they with V, right? So I've, you've, they've, we've, or his, she's, its. Okay, being and verb in ing. Okay, so for example, here in the platform, we can see that this is our timeline. And in order to understand this grammar, we have to realize that the action started here in the past, but this action has been, for example, in a progress way all these days until now. For example, my action started, I don't know, 2 days before, maybe Saturday. So today is Monday and it's happening in this time zone. So my action was happening since Saturday, Sunday, and today's Monday. It's happening again. So I don't know when is it going to start, when it's going to finish, okay? For example, here says, the Soccer Federation has been calling me for the past 2 days. So what does it mean? That maybe 2 days ago, okay, they were calling him. So until today, for example, since Saturday, Sunday, and today is Monday, okay?
Okay.
So we have to always realize that for continuous, we use have or has, but always been, and the verb in ing, okay? So it's not good if we use being and the base form only, or being and the past participle, for example, no, ing, okay? I have been playing, she has been playing, for example. So for negatives, have not or has not. Nick really has not been having money problems. So we have to realize about the time that we could use for, okay, for a length of time, for example, not specific, maybe we could say 2 days, but I don't specify, for example, which days, for example, okay? For example, here, Nick, we've been working together for 4 years, but we don't specify which years were there, okay? Maybe the years were in the past, or maybe the years are like near to the present, okay? And when we use since, yes, in this case, we can explain the point of time. So when the action started, okay? Maybe, I don't know, since yesterday, since Monday. So we specify the exactly time, okay? For example, I've been trying to speak to you since last night. So we are specifying that I was trying to call you since yesterday at night, okay? So for making questions, okay, for making questions talking about time, we don't use, for example, how much time or how many time. No, that is incorrect for present perfect continuous, okay? For present perfect continuous, we always use how long for expressing time, okay? How long have we been working together, Nick? 4 years. So I will use how long for asking about a specific time. Okay?
Okay, Lore.
Okay, Lucas. So I don't know if you have like some questions about this grammar.
No, nothing. I'm
No?
taking notes. Give me
Okay, perfect. Okay, Lucas. So right now, let's go to the platform, okay? In order to see um, the exercise. So if you took notes, it's okay. But if not, you can take a picture, okay?
Okay, I think.
Perfect. So let's go to the platform. Give me a second. I will assign you, okay, this unit for, so in order we can start doing these grammars. So, okay. mm, okay. mm, okay, Lucas, so it's a sign. Maybe you could see, and we could start with the first exercise. Don't forget to share me your screen, okay? When you are in the exercise.
Can you see?
Yes, okay, so let's start. Mm,
Much more good. Subset. Okay, I'm gonna say that. Tell me.
Well, in number 4, right? In that case, for example, let's remember, Lucas, that when we talk about, for example, always you have to remember this, that if in the complement, okay, in this case, your complement is at the beginning, some time ago, so it says, do you remember that if we have in our complements like ago, last night, maybe time ago, or last month, like that, or yesterday, those are a specific time, but using in the past, right? So if we use that or those complement, always we have to realize that it's not a present perfect, and of course it's not a present perfect continuous. It's only simple past.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, let's correct that because I think that was the
So start out again.
yes, yes, exactly. So always be focused on the complement too.
Okay. So here I need to put the verbs.
Sorry?
I need to put the correct verbs in the blanks and maybe the correct time, right?
Exactly. So maybe could be like present perfect continuous. But in this case, as the instruction says, complete the paragraph, choose a word from the answer pool, type the correct form of the verb, it says. So everything is in present perfect continuous, but you have to try to guess what is the correct verb, okay, in each
Okay.
blank.
So I have
Okay.
been reading about the Nick Crawford story since the last week. I, I can say that it's a real shame. Crawford has been playing on the national team for 4 years, and without question, he is their best player. The team needs Crawford to win the qualifying match, but the Soccer Federation put pressure on the coach Ed Haskins. It's okay if I just put,
And no, because everything is with present perfect continuous.
so have,
Yes. Has.
have
Yes.
putting pressure on coach Ed Haskins to kick Crawford off the team. Up until now, Haskins has defending his star player, but soon he will have no choice. As you know, people has have been saying, saying that Crawford it, it's okay if I put has been have
Has been have no. Has
has
been
been had
having.
money problems as, as that ever love and the first again. That's a serious church. I think it's true. He should not be allowed to play. Gravel says he's innocent. He has trying to prove it, but so far he has offered not ending. Okay, I'm gonna say
Okay.
okay.
Perfect. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so now let's go to the other grammar. It is the separable phrasal verbs, okay? So I will show you my screen for this explanation that it's not so long. Well,
Okay.
here, as you could remember, for example, the phrasal verbs, do you remember, Lucas, that I sent you, right? A
Yeah.
list of phrasal verbs. So, and then I remember that in the last unit 3, we saw the inseparable phrasal verbs, right? So when we said that, for example, this phrasal verb, the phrasal verb that is composed by a verb and the particle, right? So when we said that these both could be separated, that was inseparables. But in this case, we're gonna see these separable phrasal verbs, and we're gonna see that this phrasal verb is gonna be separated, okay, by an object pronoun. Okay, so which are the object pronouns? The object pronouns are like me, him, her, them, us,
Are you
right? So
sharing your screen or
yes,
no?
yes,
No,
yes,
no,
yes. You
no.
are not.
I was sharing my screen.
No, no, no. So don't share it because yeah, I'm sharing you.
Okay, now I can see.
Okay, perfect. Yes, as I was telling you, these separable phrasal verbs are gonna be like this. This, the verb and the particle, it's gonna be separated. So both are gonna be separated by an object pronoun. Okay, so which is the object pronoun? The noun that we are talking about, right? For example, if we use sit out, okay? Sit out, in this case, it is like giving up, like kick something, okay? So in this case, sit up is inseparable because they are together, okay? For example, here the coach says, you mean you didn't take a bribe to sit out the game? Okay, sit out in this case are together. So this is an inseparable phrasal verb. But for example, if I use in a separable phrasal verb, I could say I maybe I sit, okay, sit out, it's like to give up of something. So I could say I sit out. Here says I sit out the game, but we're gonna separate it, okay, here by the object pronoun. I sit the game out. So as you can see here, this is a separable phrasal verb. I sit the game out. This is this is the same as I was saying you, for example, I sit out the game. So this is similar, but in this case, this is inseparable phrasal verb and this is separable phrasal verb. Okay, so when we separate the phrasal verb, always our noun about the thing that we are talking about, it's gonna be in the middle of the phrasal verb, of the verb and the particle, okay?
Okay,
That is the only thing. That is the only thing, but both means the same, okay? So in this case, in the exercises, we will see which are the object pronouns that are going to be separating these phrasal verbs, okay? So let's go to the platform and we're gonna see it much better.
okay. So the next grammar, right?
Yes, separable phrasal verbs 1.
So I didn't understand your menu. Could you clear up some questions for me? Sure, Amy. I I'll clear you up after lunch, okay?
Okay, in this case, for example, in number 1, in the sentence says, could you clear up some questions for me? So what is the noun here? Is questions, right? Some questions. So my object pronoun here is not you. It's, what other options do we have?
Clear them up.
Exactly, exactly. Yes, because here says, sure, Amy, I will clear them up. So what is them? It's like, I will clear the questions up after lunch.
Okay.
Okay.
hate to bring up my rights again, Tony, but we need to talk. You can bring it up, but I can't promise you will get it.
Exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. It's okay.
Who dreamed up the idea to report on high school soccer games? I dreamed it up. What?
Yes. Because we're talking about the idea, right?
Oh, Aiden, could you lend me the $10 until tomorrow? I'd like to help you out, buddy, but I don't have any cash with me. My homework, I had it a minute ago. You just put it away. It is back, in your back. I can figure these instructions out. Let me see, maybe I can figure out them. It's okay.
Mm, no,
Or
figure
figure
out
it
is
out.
yes, great.
This may
Separ.
have quite a story about me. Did he just make it up? Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
say
Let's see. Perfect. Very good.
the next one.
Okay.
Her title is the best woman soccer player in the world. But don't. So here, that don't when you talk to me a hand. So bring it up.
Exactly. Yes.
She doesn't want to hear about it because she's much more interested in her thing. Her personal motto is I will not let down let my team down.
Perfect.
Coach Tony D says that that this is her best quality and her fellow players agree that yeah will do anything to to pick them up.
Pick up, it's like, it's not correct there because pick up, it's like follow somebody else.
Okay, so help them out.
Yes, it's much better.
has even refused to set a track because of a sprained ankle. Growing up, Mia played other sports, but soccer was her brother's favorite sport, and she was able to pick it, pick it up
Yeah, it's much better.
at age 14. She was a girl soccer star as soon as Coach Anton Doran's national soccer team saw her play. He decided to team sign her up. At 15, she was the youngest member in Mia's daughter Mia had Foundation. 19. Here it's gonna be sit out, right?
Yes, because like to give up
Oh,
something. Yes.
this first back. Okay, I'm gonna say
And yeah, the two ones, it's in the last one was give it back, right? Because Mia wants to give back, right? So give it back to the sport. So give something back, right? To the sport
okay.
that has meant so much to her.
Say
Yeah, and give something.
back. Okay.
Perfect. Very good. Okay, so that's okay. So today we're gonna finish here. Okay, Lucas. So right now I will reassign you the other units, okay? It
Okay.
was 2 and 3, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, because one you did it. Okay, it's okay. 4 it's assigned. Okay. Okay. It's done. And 2. Okay, it's done too.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's reassigned, Lucas. So start like doing the tasks of the quizzes in order not to have problems, okay?
Okay, Lauren, thank you.
Don't worry, Lucas. So try to finish it until Wednesday, 2 and
Okay.
3. And maybe if you could do it 4. If you can't achieve it 4, so
Okay.
let me know and we are going to reassign until maybe one more day, okay?
Okay. Okay, Lauren. And
Okay.
after the module C, we have another unit.
We have the module C, okay? So after this module B, we have module C, okay?
No, because we are in module C right
Ah,
now.
yes, yes. So yes, after this module, we have to go to the next book, okay? To the other level,
Okay. Okay,
okay?
Lauren.
Yes, okay, don't worry, Lucas. So try to finish it, okay?
O- Okay, Lauren.
Okay, bye-bye, Lucas. See you.
Bye, Lauren. See you.